Welcome to the Bible Quiz and Trivia channel. Today, we're testing your knowledge on the birth of Jesus with some tough questions that might just surprise you. Don't forget to hit the subscribe button and like this video to support our content. After the quiz, share your score in the comments. We love seeing how well you do. Are you ready? Let's get started. Question 1. In which town was Jesus born? A. Nazareth. B. Jerusalem. C. Bethlehem. D. Jericho. Answer: C. Bethlehem. Jesus was born in Bethlehem of Judea, fulfilling the prophecy stated in Micah 5:2, which emphasizes Bethlehem as the birthplace of the Messiah. This is specifically recorded in Matthew 2:1 and Luke 2:4-6, where it's noted that Joseph and Mary traveled there due to a census ordered by the Roman emperor. Question 2. Who was the ruling Roman emperor at the time of Jesus' birth? A. Tiberius. B. Augustus. C. Nero. D. Caligula. Answer: B. Augustus. Caesar Augustus was the Roman emperor during the time of Jesus' birth. Luke 2:1 mentions that a decree went out from Caesar Augustus that all the world should be registered, which led Joseph and Mary to Bethlehem. Question 3. What does the name Emmanuel mean, as prophesied in Isaiah and referenced in the story of Jesus' birth? A. God with us. B. Prince of Peace. C. Light of the world. D. Savior. Answer: A. God with us. Emmanuel, meaning God with us, is a name prophesied in Isaiah 7:14 and referenced in Matthew 1:23 to emphasize the divine presence of God through Jesus' birth. This name signifies the fulfillment of God's promise to dwell among his people. Question 4. Which gospel begins with the genealogy of Jesus, tracing back to Abraham? A. Matthew. B. Mark. C. Luke. D. John. Answer: A. Matthew. The Gospel of Matthew begins with the genealogy of Jesus, tracing his lineage from Abraham through David, which establishes Jesus' legal right to the throne of David and his fulfillment of the promises made to Abraham. This is found in Matthew 1:1-17. Question 5. What was Joseph's profession? A. Shepherd. B. Carpenter. C. Fisherman. D. Scribe. Answer: B. Carpenter. Joseph, the earthly father of Jesus, was a carpenter by profession. Matthew 13:55 refers to Jesus as the carpenter's son, indicating Joseph's trade, which Jesus likely learned as well. Question 6. Who was the governor of Syria when Jesus was born? A. Pontius Pilate. B. Herod the Great. C. Quirinius. D. Felix. Answer: C. Quirinius. Luke 2:2 mentions that the census which brought Joseph and Mary to Bethlehem occurred while Quirinius was governing Syria, placing the timing of Jesus' birth within his administrative period. Question 7. According to the Gospel of Luke, why did Joseph and Mary travel to Bethlehem? A. To visit relatives. B. To pay taxes. C. To escape Herod. D. Because of a census. Answer: D. Because of a census. Luke 2:3-4 explains that Joseph went up from Nazareth to Bethlehem because he belonged to the house and line of David, and this was in response to a census decreed by Caesar Augustus. Question 8. What sign were the shepherds given to find Jesus? A. A star in the east. B. A baby wrapped in swaddling clothes, lying in a manger. C. A choir of angels. D. A dream. Answer B. A baby wrapped in swaddling clothes, lying in a manger. Luke 2:12 records that the angels told the shepherds they would find a baby wrapped in swaddling clothes and lying in a manger, which served as the sign for identifying Jesus. Question 9. Which prophetess in the temple recognized Jesus as the Messiah when he was presented by Mary and Joseph? A. Deborah. B. Hannah. C. Anna. D. Miriam. Answer C. Anna. Anna, a prophetess, recognized Jesus as the Messiah when he was presented in the temple. Luke 2:38 describes how she gave thanks to God and spoke about the child to all who were looking forward to the redemption of Jerusalem. Question 10. What gifts did the Magi bring to Jesus? A. Gold, frankincense, and myrrh. B. Silver, diamonds, and rubies. C. Bread, wine, and oil. D. Scrolls, lamps, and incense. Answer: A. Gold, frankincense, and myrrh. Matthew 2:11 details that the Magi brought gifts of gold, frankincense, and myrrh to Jesus. These gifts are symbolic, with gold representing his kingship, frankincense his priestly role, and myrrh his death. Question 11. How did the Magi find their way to Jesus? A. Following a map. B. Guided by an angel. C. Following a star. D. Following a river. Answer: C. Following a star. Matthew 2:2 and 2:9-10 describe how the Magi followed a star that led them to Jesus. This star is often interpreted as a miraculous sign from God guiding them to the newborn king. Question 12. What dream warned Joseph to take his family and flee to Egypt? A. A dream of a great flood. B. A dream of angels fighting. C. A dream of Herod seeking to kill Jesus. D. A dream of lost sheep. Answer C. A dream of Herod seeking to kill Jesus. Matthew 2:13 records that an angel of the Lord appeared to Joseph in a dream and warned him to take Mary and Jesus and flee to Egypt because Herod was going to search for the child to kill him. Question 13. How is Jesus' lineage through David significant for fulfilling Old Testament prophecy? A. It proves he is a wise king. B. It fulfills the prophecy of a priestly lineage. C. It confirms him as the rightful heir to the throne. D. It fulfills the prophecy that the Messiah would come from David's line. Answer D. It fulfills the prophecy that the Messiah would come from David's line. The lineage of Jesus through David is significant as it fulfills Old Testament prophecies such as those in Jeremiah 23:5-6 and Isaiah 11:1, which state that the Messiah would come from David's line, establishing Jesus as the legitimate and prophecy king. Question 14. What does the angel say to Mary during the Annunciation? A. You are highly favored. The Lord is with you. B. Prepare for a great journey. C. Your faith has saved you. D. You will speak the words of God. Answer: A. You are highly favored. The Lord is with you. During the Annunciation, as recorded in Luke 1:28, the angel Gabriel greets Mary with the words, Greetings, you who are highly favored. The Lord is with you. This greeting highlights Mary's special role and divine selection in the birth of Jesus. Question 15. Who visited Mary shortly after the Annunciation and is also mentioned as having a miraculous pregnancy? A. Martha. B. Elizabeth. C. Sarah. D. Rachel. Answer B. Elizabeth. Luke 1:36-40 describes how Mary visited Elizabeth, who was also experiencing a miraculous pregnancy with John the Baptist. This visit is significant as it underscores the divine intervention in both their lives and the connection between John the Baptist and Jesus. Question 16. What is the meaning of the name Jesus as explained by the angel in the Gospel of Matthew? A. He will save his people from their sins. B. He is the Son of God. C. He will bring peace to the world. D. He will be great among men. Answer A. He will save his people from their sins. In Matthew 1:21, the angel tells Joseph in a dream, "You are to give him the name Jesus, because he will save his people from their sins." This explanation directly connects the name Jesus with his role in salvation, as Jesus is the Greek form of Joshua, which means the Lord saves. Question 17. How did Herod the Great react when he heard about the birth of Jesus? A. He celebrated. B. He ignored the news. C. He was troubled and all Jerusalem with him. D. He sent gifts. Answer C. He was troubled and all Jerusalem with him. Matthew 2-3 states, when King Herod heard this, he was disturbed, and all Jerusalem with him. Herod's reaction was one of fear and disturbance, fearing a threat to his throne, which led to the massacre of the innocents in his attempt to eliminate the newborn king. Question 18. Which Old Testament prophecy is cited in Matthew as being fulfilled by Jesus' birth in Bethlehem? A. Isaiah 7:14. B. Jeremiah 31:15. C. Micah 5:2. D. Hosea 11:1. Answer C. Micah 5:2. Micah 5:2 is cited in Matthew 2-6 as being fulfilled by Jesus' birth. But you, Bethlehem, in the land of Judah, are by no means least among the rulers of Judah, for out of you will come a ruler who will shepherd my people Israel. This prophecy highlights the significance of Bethlehem as the birthplace of the Messiah. Question 19. According to the Gospel of Luke, what was placed in the manger? A. A crown. B. Clothes. C. A lamb. D. Jesus. Answer D. Jesus. Luke 2-7 explains that Mary gave birth to her firstborn, a son. She wrapped him in cloths and placed him in a manger because there was no guest room available for them. This emphasizes the humble circumstances of Jesus' birth. Question 20. How long after Jesus' birth did the visit of the Magi occur according to traditional interpretations? A. On the night of his birth. B. Within a week. C. Up to 2 years later. D. Shortly after his first birthday. Answer C. Up to 2 years later. Matthew 2:16 indicates that Herod ordered the massacre of all boys in Bethlehem 2 years old and under, based on the time he had learned from the Magi. This suggests that the Magi could have visited Jesus as much as 2 years after his birth. Question 21. What was the response of Simeon when he saw Jesus at the temple? A. He was silent. B. He sang a song of joy. C. He blessed God and said Jesus would cause the rise and fall of many in Israel. T. He warned Mary and Joseph of future hardships. Answer C. He blessed God and said Jesus would cause the rise and fall of many in Israel. Luke 2:34 records Simeon's prophecy. This child is destined to cause the falling and rising of many in Israel. His response emphasizes Jesus' significant impact on Israel and the profound spiritual challenges he would present. Question 22. Which animals are traditionally depicted in nativity scenes, even though they aren't mentioned in the Gospels? A. Lions and lambs. B. Oxen and donkeys. C. Eagles and doves. D. Camels and horses. Answer: B. Oxen and donkeys. Though not mentioned in the gospel accounts, oxen and donkeys are traditionally included in nativity scenes. This tradition likely stems from Isaiah 1-3. The ox knows its master, the donkey its owner's manger, symbolizing recognition of Jesus by even the simplest of creatures. Question 23. How did Mary respond when shepherds told her about the angel's announcement? A. She was confused. B. She was joyful. C. She treasured these things and pondered them in her heart. D. She immediately left Bethlehem. Answer: C. She treasured these things and pondered them in her heart. Luke 2:19 notes, "But Mary treasured up all these things and pondered them in her heart." This response reflects her contemplative nature and deep reflection on the events surrounding Jesus' birth. Question 24. What was the star that guided the Magi commonly called? A. The Star of David. B. The Star of Bethlehem. C. The Morning Star. D. The Guiding Star. Answer: B. The Star of Bethlehem. The phenomenon guiding the Magi is commonly referred to as the Star of Bethlehem. It is described in Matthew 2:2 as a star that rose in the east and led the Magi to where Jesus was located, becoming the symbol of divine guidance. Question 25. How does the Gospel of John symbolically refer to Jesus' birth? A. As light coming into the world. B. As a lamb being born. C. As a king taking his throne. D. As a shepherd gathering his flock. Answer: A. As light coming into the world. John 1-9 refers to Jesus as the true light that gives light to everyone coming into the world. This metaphorical language highlights the incarnation as a divine illumination to humanity, contrasting the literal birth narratives of the Synoptic Gospels. Here are the multiple choice questions for questions 26-30 about the birth of Jesus, crafted with detailed explanations and biblical references. Question 26. In the Gospels, who explicitly gives the decree for the census that brought Mary and Joseph to Bethlehem? A. Herod the Great. B. Pontius Pilate. C. Tiberius Caesar. D. Caesar Augustus. Answer: D. Caesar Augustus. The Gospel of Luke 2:1 explicitly states that Caesar Augustus issued a decree that a census should be taken of the entire Roman world, which was the reason Joseph and Mary traveled to Bethlehem, as Joseph belonged to the house and line of David. Question 27. What role does the Old Testament figure Rachel play in the prophecies related to Jesus' birth? A. She was prophesied to be a sign of hope. B. She represents the mourning of mothers in Bethlehem. C. She was said to rejoice at his birth. D. She symbolizes the strength of motherhood. Answer: B. She represents the mourning of mothers in Bethlehem. In Matthew 2:18, a prophecy from Jeremiah 31:15 is cited, which mentions Rachel weeping for her children, refusing to be comforted because they are no more. This prophecy is interpreted as being fulfilled in the massacre of the Bethlehem infants by Herod in his attempt to kill the newborn Jesus. Question 28. Which emperor's reign is used to date the timing of Jesus' birth in the Gospel of Luke? A. Augustus Caesar. B. Nero Caesar. C. Tiberius Caesar. D. Claudius Caesar. Answer: A. Augustus Caesar. Luke 2:1 mentions that the census that brought Joseph and Mary to Bethlehem took place during the reign of Caesar Augustus. His reign helps to historically date the timing of Jesus' birth within the broader Roman historical context. Question 29. What significant event does Zechariah prophesy about his own son in relation to Jesus? A. That his son would be a great prophet. B. That his son would walk in darkness. C. That his son would be the Messiah. D. That his son would prepare the way for Jesus. Answer D. That his son would prepare the way for Jesus. In Luke 1-76, Zechariah, filled with the Holy Spirit, prophesies about his son, John the Baptist, saying, "And you, my child, will be called a prophet of the Most High, for you will go on before the Lord to prepare the way for him." This indicates John's role in preparing the people for Jesus. Question 30. How many days after his birth was Jesus officially named, according to Jewish custom? A. 7 days. B. 8 days. C. 12 days. D. 40 days. Answer B. 8 days. According to Jewish custom, a male child was named on the 8th day, coinciding with his circumcision. Luke 2:21 specifically mentions that on the 8th day, when it was time to circumcise the child, he was named Jesus, fulfilling the instruction given by the angel before he was conceived.